Hey guys, I haven't made a long form video in a bit, so I figured I'd make one today. So I just finished watching a bunch of Peter Monn's videos, and I don't always agree with Peter Monn, but today was one of those days that I found myself in more agreement with him than not, and I've especially been valuing his insight on things in the past day or so, because in many ways the situation that's been going on with Adam McIntyre and Vidcon has had me extremely upset, and I had replied to Adam giving him my own insight on things under his video, but Peter had given him probably better advice, because my advice came from a place of fear, and Peter was like, if I were in your position today, I would say F it and go. He's like, back then, when I was your age, I would have backed out, and I would have done all of these things, and I would have, missed out on opportunities that I wanted to do because I let fear win. And as I spoke about in my Chapel Round video, I have extensive history with music, both positive and not. Unfortunately, a large preponderance of that is not, especially when it came to my first music teacher, who I had from the age of 6 till I was almost 14 when I transferred to my second teacher. And I know I posted some videos about this on the YouTube channel for Rekindled Resonance. I didn't finish uploading or releasing all of the videos that I had recorded on that subject matter. Just because at the time when I started releasing things, I was struggling both physically, and my mental health was not great. I deal with anxiety and depression as a regular experience on a daily basis because of things I've been through. I have PTSD, I have CPTSD. And yes, those are two different things. PTSD is an acute incident that's traumatizing, whereas CPTSD is long-term, prolonged exposure. May not be as intense in the one incidence as maybe a PTSD-inducing event, but the prolonged exposure has cumulative effect. I have not just dealt with harm from my mother, but also from other people as well in my life, people who should have been there for me and supported me and didn't. I won't name my first harp teacher because I don't want to deal with her. If I ever happen to become successful with this and people find these videos, I don't want to deal with her, but she knows who she is. But I will say this, I've had exactly 2 herb teachers. She was the first one, and my second one was Susan Knapp Thomas, who was an incredible harp teacher, and one I still beat myself up over not having been as good of a student for her as I should have been, because I was, by the time I got to Susan, carrying so much that a lot of which I didn't even realize I was carrying. And even now, I doubt I remember everything. Like I said, I have memory issues because of a lot of things that I've been through in my life. A lot of suppressed memories. I have blocks of time from when I was growing up that are completely lost. A lot of the lived experience that I had as a kid, I don't remember. So when I remember traumatizing incidents from that time period, it does make me sit and wonder, what else is there? Because if I remember that stuff, what else could there be that I don't? I do encounter incidents where things suddenly open up memories, and in October, I think it was around that time frame, my mother had said something, and I can't even tell you what she had said to me, but it stirred something in my psyche that opened one of those Pandora boxes. And I was unpacking some of that with my therapist, and I said to her, I'm like, it felt like, there's a movie I really like called Dreamcatcher. Morgan Freeman is in it. But one of the things that I really like about it is the way that they identify their mind caverns or mind caves, and how one of the guys has this like library in his brain where he files things away. Mine doesn't quite look like that. Mine, I feel like I'm walking through this very large cave, and I see these metal blocks that I can't enter into or access. And it felt like one day she said something, and one of those metal blocks that seems to be blocking off a whole bunch of memories got a crack in it, and I had the option to walk into this lighted space. But as I started to do so, I felt sick to my stomach, and like I shouldn't walk through that entryway or walk through that doorway into those memories just then. So I mentally built a door. That room is no longer sealed off to me, and I can access it when I'm ready for it. But I just felt horribly triggered, even if I didn't remember why at the time. And I know there's been a lot of things in my life that I have run from. I have felt guided and pulled to get back into music for a very, very, very long time. Fear and trauma I've been through has kept me afraid. Not long ago, I started tuning my harp again. I started slowly practicing again. Not very much, because the harp is very heavy, and because I have to balance it on my right shoulder, and the right side of my body is the side that's affected by the spine issues and everything. I can't do it for very long. But for the past few weeks, I haven't touched it at all, not even to tune it. I have to step into it very slowly, because as much as I love music and I miss playing and I miss how I felt when I was playing, there's also a lot of unpleasant stuff affiliated with it too. And it's very hard when something you love is also affiliated with a lot of things that caused you a lot of harm. It's hard to find your way into those things again. I know once I start really getting into it, I'll be better. But I also know I am still very unhealed from a lot I've been through and a lot I continue to endure. You cannot heal in the environment that wounded you, and right now I am still very much in that environment. A very real conversation I had with my significant other recently, and maybe one day you guys will find out who that is, but today's not that day. Is that I know when I get out of here that I am not going to be okay for a while. I know it's gonna, I lived my entire life in a harmful environment. So it's gonna take me time, once I'm safe and I don't have to come back anymore, to not only come to terms with the fact that I am safe, but then to allow myself the process to heal once I'm out of here. That's another thing that's kept me from practicing, is it's not just because there is good and bad associated with the harp, but I also have to be careful of when I'm allowed to practice, because things aren't always good if I'm making too much noise. I think that's the way I can best put it in a veiled way. Anything that she sees as a potential for allowing me to be successful and allowing me to leave this space and move forward in life, she will view as a threat. And I don't want her to she's done a lot in my life to sabotage my efforts to get out. And I can't risk her. And I don't want to risk her taking away something else that was important to me. I've lost a lot already. Sorry, this isn't even where I was planning to go with this video. Like I said, I just finished watching a bunch of Peter Monn's videos, and I kind of relate to him as of late. I know early on in the inception of my channel, I was trying my best to script things and read things off as they were going, but after a while I kind of gave up on that. Plus I was doing readings at the time anyway, and you can't script doing readings, at least was not if you're actually doing readings the way you should be doing them. I'm just saying. But I'm just trying to take the music journey one step at a time. I'm gonna record another long form video after this, but I don't want to draw this out too long and make this video too long, so my next one is gonna be a thoughts and opinions video, so I hope you guys will give it a chance and hear me out, because I may say some things that may not be so popular, but yeah. Alright. Take care, guys, and please, by all means, go watch Peter Monn's video giving Adam advice on Vidcon, and go support Adam, because he can certainly use all the love and support he can get right now. It's never easy to be put in a situation where you have to potentially be around or face someone who has caused you a lot of harm. Alright? Bye for now. See you in the next one.